Hello, Trailblazers. Hello, it is another Monday and another inspirational corner for us. Talking tonight on the leadership topic of building character for unprecedented success. And now that success could be either in your personal life or in your professional life, but character is at the helm of our of our success. It's the foundation of everything that we do, right? The saying goes, talent may get you into the room, but character will get you a seat at the table. And not only get you a seat at the table, in my opinion, it will actually keep you in the room and at the table because if character is out of place, if you have poor character, you're going to get kicked out, not just from the table, but out of the room completely, right? So when we talk about leadership, character then is the cornerstone upon which trust, integrity, and success are built. Leaders who possess strong character traits such as honesty, accountability, and humility not only inspire their team, but also drive sustainable performance and growth. It's been proven, there are a lot of data out there to prove that. But how can you assess and enhance your leadership character? I have five strategies this evening that I want to share with you. All right, let me just pull up my notes here so that I can see and follow along. Awesome. So here they are. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So imagine a world where every leader embodies integrity and where trust is the currency of success, where excellence is not just a um, it's not just another goal, right? It's not just another goal, but it becomes a way of life. So in this place, character is king, right? It is the foundation for um, building great teams in your company. It's the place where growth happens and is sustained, right? And your teams, yourself and your teams, can have great successes in ways that you probably not even imagined. Your character plays a great role in all of that. So today, we're talking about the depths of leadership character and how to unlock it in order to inspire, motivate, and drive yours and your businesses or your teams or your community's success wherever your leadership takes you, right? Not everybody is in traditional employment. Some people are business owners, some people are leading community groups, some people are in politics. Wherever your leadership takes you, I believe this is relevant across the board. So the first point I want to bring to you today is to reflect on your values and principles. Our journey begins with introspection, always, I find, for me. So take a moment now to reflect on your core values and your guiding principles. What are they? Do you know what they are? What beliefs shape your decisions and actions as a leader? Are you staying true to these principles consistently? Think about it. By aligning your behaviors with your values, you lay the foundation for what we term ethical leadership. Your values serve as the vibrant threads weaving through each and every one of your decisions. It guides your actions and the choices you make about your life. Your values are the compass that's guiding you through the complex environment of leadership of life, and really just steering you along the path towards success and integrity. So values are important. They're not merely words on a page, but the actual essence of who you are, of who I am, of who we are, shaping our identity and purpose. Values dictate the principles by that we live by, right? The standards that we operate by, right? and in some cases, the legacy that we want to leave behind. So whether it's based on honesty or accountability or compassion or innovation, whatever your core values are, they form the foundation upon which your leadership is built. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I used to talk a lot about the beginning of leadership is self leadership. So it begins with developing self and being able to lead self before we even think of leading others, right? So that's where it all begins. And it begins with your values and your principles. Now, consider this for a moment. What are the principles that drive your decisions? Are you prioritizing integrity above everything, or perhaps innovation and innovation? I'm looking for a word, adaptability. That's what I wanted to say, right? Innovation and adaptability. Understanding the core values that underpin your leadership is really important because it serves as your guiding light along your journey as things change, right? Business changes all the time. The business environment is constantly shifting and changing, whether it's through technology, whether it's business frameworks, whatever. Things are changing. But the one thing that should keep you grounded is your character. So when you reflect on your values, it's not merely an exercise in introspection. It's a fundamental step towards self awareness and growth. And by examining the alignment between your values and your actions, you begin to see the congruence of your character. Now ask yourself, am I living in accordance with my values, or have I steered off course? Because sometimes things happen, and we don't realize that we grow. We are growing every day. And as we grow, our values and principles may change, right? And it's not necessarily a bad thing for them to change. It's good. But you have to constantly reflect to see, are my values and principles changing as I'm changing? And are they changing for the better? Because I'm changing for the better. If you find that things aren't changing for the better, you're going to have to go back to the drawing board and do some more work. All right. Because we want to change and grow, but it's always in the right direction. So introspection builds a deeper understanding of ourselves and enables us to make intentional choices that honor the principles that are important to us. But you have to understand that the journey towards aligning your actions with your core values, it's not always straightforward, right? Excuse me. Excuse me. So in the hustle and bustle of your everyday life, and it's easy to lose sight of the principles that guide you, right? Because there are so many competing demands and pressures that you're dealing with, and sometimes rapidly, that you're just doing things on autopilot and you're not necessarily stopping and thinking, okay, wait a minute, is this in alignment with my values and principles? So they have to become so embedded in you so that as you're doing what you're doing, regardless of whether you're thinking about it consciously or not, your actions are lining up. And by cultivating this mindfulness, you create space for reflection, allowing yourself to pause and evaluate whether your actions are in harmony with your values, right? Seeking feedback from the people around you, the ones that you trust, from your mentors, your colleagues, the peers, people you trust, people who have your best interest at heart. It's another way for refining your principles. The perspectives that they offer you, fresh insights and perspectives that you may not even think about, will help you in reassessing your priorities and examining the impact of your actions and allow you to adapt and evolve as a leader and as a person. So, building leadership character really is a journey of self discovery and growth. It's a journey that begins with understanding your values, aligning your actions with your principles, and continually refining your character. By embracing this journey wholeheartedly, you pave the way for unprecedented success and leave behind a legacy of integrity, purpose, and impact. And we all should strive for to leave that kind of legacy behind us. Let me talk again. The second point I want to bring out some more is about seeking feedback from others, right? Embracing the wisdom of others is important. No man is an island, they say. We are created as relational beings. So we are interconnected, whether we like it or not. So when we solicit feedback from peers and subordinates and supervisors, loved ones, their perspectives are mirrors that are reflecting back to us our areas of strength, areas for improvement, and you must also learn to embrace that constructive criticism, right? I don't like to use the word criticism with constructive because to me, criticism is negative, but constructive feedback has a more positive spin for me. Because even if you're telling me something that I need to improve, it is feedback if it's being done constructively. But if it's not being done constructively and it's being done maliciously, now that becomes criticism. And I can't see how criticism is constructive. Now that's just me. Okay. I'm maybe picking at hairs here, but that's just me. So embrace constructive feedback with an open heart, openly, right? That is where you're going to learn key insights about yourself that you will need to grow, right? Once you apply solutions to what you hear, the areas where you're being told that you need to develop, once you take the steps to do that, definitely, those feedback is a catalyst now for your growth. So in the leadership landscape, seeking feedback from others serves as a transformative thread, right? Which provides insights and perspectives that really guide you along the journey. And in your mind, it's easy to become captivated or captured by the illusions of our own perceived strengths and weaknesses. And I say illusion because sometimes what we think is not necessarily the reality. And that's why it's important to seek feedback to see if what you're thinking is what you are showing to others and if they agree with you. Now, that's not to say you have to be dependent on someone else's opinions of who you are, right? You must know yourself. And this is how feedback becomes important because sometimes there are blind spots and we're not seeing what's in that peripheral. It's like driving the car and you always have to be glancing backward to check your blind spot because there may be a car there that you can't pick up in the side mirror, right? So it's not that something is wrong with your perspective of yourself, but check for the blind spots. And it's the people on the outside of you who will be able to point things out to you. All right. So embrace those feedbacks with an open mind, right? By inviting the perspectives of others, you're unlocking a treasure trove of wisdom, really, a mirror that's reflecting back to you not only your accomplishments, but also your untapped potential. Mentors and coaches are good for that, right? The insights that they provide to you are invaluable if you take them in, right? They are going to be taking you through sometimes dark moments. We all have dark, foggy moments in our lives sometimes where we're going, but we're not quite sure what's ahead. So those insights can help to be that beacon of light that's helping to guide you forward, right? Sometimes to pull you out of complacency because a lot of people I find sometimes are complacent when it comes to their self development or their professional development. When you open up yourself to feedback, you open doors to opportunities for growth and development that would otherwise remain hidden. So embracing constructive feedback openly is really the hallmark of a resilient and forward thinking leader. Do you consider yourself a leader? And even if you don't, it's still good information for your own personal growth. So rather than viewing feedback as a threat to your ego, you should recognize it as a catalyst for growth, a gift given to you by those who genuinely wish to see you thrive and succeed. Every nugget of feedback, every nugget of wisdom, every, constructive feedback given to you is, no matter how small, or it may seem insignificant, it carries within it the seeds of transformation. So it is up to you to cultivate these seeds, nurture them with humility and a willingness to learn. Otherwise, you could be missing out on some key opportunities. Embracing feedback is not always easy. I know. I know. I used to be one that I used to resist feedback all the time, even if it was good, because I just felt like everybody was criticizing me. But I had to stop one day and say, wait a minute. No, no, no. Just listen. Listen to what they're saying. And I listened. And for the first time, I listened and took notes. Right. So some of it was good to hear, some of it was not so good and not so easy to swallow. But I took notes anyway, and I went back and I prayed about it. Is this true, Lord? Is this not true, Lord? And then I asked other people who knew me for years, is this true? Do you notice this about me? And, I found it to be very beneficial. And so from that moment on, I began to embrace feedback from people, even when it's not what I want to hear. Right? There is, because there, even in the negative, there is something there to ponder. Is it true? Is this something that I need to fix about me? If it is, then I make I take the steps to do it. If not, then I just toss it aside. I toss it in the garbage, right? So when you engage with openness and honest dialogue with the people around you, you create a culture of trust and collaboration. So you listen to what they have to say and, ask questions. Why do you feel that way? Really? Give me an example. Show me something, because maybe I didn't realize I did that or said that. So have these open conversations with them. You're building trust. You're showing them that, you know what, even if I don't agree with you, I still value what you have to say. So seeking feedback from others is not merely a means to an end, it's a cornerstone for effective leadership and effective personal development. And when you embrace constructive feedback with an open heart, you are literally harnessing the power of collective wisdom from the people around you, and you can use it to propel yourself towards that unprecedented growth and success. That's the title of tonight's discussion: building character for unprecedented success. So put aside the fears and the insecurities and really set out on this journey of self discovery and transformation, right? When you do that with the people around you, you're able to reach new heights of excellence and have a greater impact on your environment. Now, point number three is leading by example. You may have heard me say this before. Leadership is not about a title. Leadership is not a title, it's a responsibility. And leading by example is not just words, but it's with action. When you uphold ethical standards, when you demonstrate integrity, when you take ownership of your decisions, those actions set the tone for the culture, the culture in your environment, whether it's organizational culture, community culture, whatever the culture is. All right. So for tonight, we're going to use organizational culture, but you can put that into the framework of whatever you're dealing with or wherever your leadership is. So you set the tone for organizational culture and you inspire others to follow suit. Leading by example is not just a choice, it's a commitment. It's like a sacred vow to really embody your values and principles and put them on display for others to see. It's about walking the walk and not just talking, right? It's not just about talking the talk, it's about walking the walk and inspiring others through your actions rather than just your words. Right? It's not about do what I say but not what I do. You want people to do what you do, so you have to start embodying it first. But what exactly does leading by example entail? And how can we cultivate this invaluable skill? It's not as hard or difficult as you may think. First, leading by example has a profound impact on the people around you, whether it's your team at work, in your own business, your community, at church, wherever, right? Leaders demonstrate integrity, resilience, and accountability in their actions. They set a powerful precedent for their team members to follow when they do that. It creates a culture of trust, respect, and collaboration where everyone feels empowered to give their best and strive for excellence. But how can one cultivate the skill of leading by example? It begins with self awareness and a commitment to continue your personal growth. So it's not just I'm here and I think I've made it, I'm have the corner office, I'm making six figures, I'm okay. It's a little more than that because you have to keep growing and learning if you're in a leadership position. You have to be adaptable, agile. Leaders must first understand their own values, strengths, weaknesses before they can effectively model them for others. So, do you understand what your values and your strengths and your weaknesses are? So this means engaging in introspection once more, seeking feedback from trusted mentors, from colleagues, from your family, whoever you trust around you to give you the kind of feedback you're looking for to help you, and to continually strive to improve yourself. Leading by example also requires consistency and authenticity. Authenticity is one of my favorite words. It's not enough to demonstrate integrity and ethical behavior occasionally. It must be a way of life. You must be willing to hold yourselves accountable to the same standard that you expect from those around you, those who are following you, those who are reporting to you, right? Starting in the home, from the home to the outside world. What you practice in private, you will put on display publicly. So even when it's difficult or inconvenient, you must hold yourself accountable just as you would expect to hold others accountable. Now, in what ways can leading by example inspire others? Let's talk about it. The ripple effects of leading by example are far reaching. When team members or followers see you as their leader embodying the values and behavior that you want from them, they feel motivated to emulate you. It creates a sense of unity and purpose where everyone is aligned towards this common goal, your vision, whatever it is, and they're committed to upholding your shared principles. Leading by example also creates a culture of empowerment and ownership. And that's what you want, right? That means you've persuaded them to believe in your vision and also in you as the leader. So when you trust your team members to take initiative and make decisions, it encourages autonomy and innovation. It shows that you have faith in your team or your followers' abilities and you believe in their potential to succeed. So leading by example is not just a skill, it's a mindset, a way of life. When you embody the values and behaviors that you wish to see in others, you inspire greatness, you inspire collaboration, and you create a culture of excellence. So let us learn not just, to lead with our words, but also, and most importantly, with our actions. And that way we pave the way for a brighter and more inspiring future because people are motivated, they're happier, more productive, right? So if you have people working like that all the time, then things are going to flow a little bit smoother. I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but really, this is leading by example. And when we have those kind of leaders in our countries, in our cities, in our churches, it really do really does make a difference. All right, point number 4 is cultivating emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is the foundation of effective leadership character. Leadership character is the foundation of great leadership. Character is the foundation of great leadership. Emotional intelligence is the foundation of excellent leadership character. Yes. Developing self awareness to understand your emotions and their impact is necessary. Practice empathy to build deeper connections and navigate conflicts with grace. This past week, last week, Thursday, I did a workshop for emerging and women leaders on building conflict resolution and negotiation skills. So, emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in conflict management, right? So you learn to navigate conflicts with grace when you're emotionally intelligent. And by cultivating emotional intelligence, you're fostering a culture of understanding and resilience. Emotional intelligence is the cornerstone, again, of good leadership character. It encompasses a whole slew of skills, including self awareness, empathy, self regulation, social skills, motivation, and I could go on and on. When you foster emotional intelligence, it's not only essential for your personal development, but also critical for building strong relationships, for driving team cohesion, navigating the complexities of leadership, and doing it confidently and with integrity. So, how can emotional intelligence be created or cultivated? Let's use cultivate instead of create for this one. It begins with a commitment to self reflection and self awareness. You must take the time to explore your own emotions, your own motivations. What are your triggers? And sit back and really think about it, gain insight into how your internal state is influencing your thoughts, your behaviors, and your interactions with others. Effective strategies for developing emotional intelligence include, again, introspection or mindfulness, as some people would prefer to say, meditating and journaling. I am huge on spending time by myself, meditating and journaling. I'm such a good journaler, if that's a word, that my second published book was based completely on things that I wrote in my journal during my times of meditation. You'll be surprised at the things that come out of the time you spend in introspection and writing down your thoughts. You never know. There could be an innovative product in there that you'd never thought of before. So take time out to do it. I highly recommend meditating and journaling. I highly recommend it. So seeking feedback from others and listening actively to their perspectives provides that valuable insight again into how your emotions impact those around you. I had a very poignant discussion with someone about that last week based on a conversation we were having. So we're talking sometimes and we don't know. We in our minds are thinking, okay, what I'm saying is okay, based on the level of my thought, based on the level of how I'm functioning. But for someone else, it may not be. So listen to the feedback that they're giving you, so that you will know how to interact with them. That's being, one aspect of being emotionally intelligent. Practicing empathy, putting yourself in the other person's shoes and understanding their feelings and perspectives is essential. It's necessary for developing emotional intelligence. And when you empathize with others, you build stronger relationships. You do. I can testify to that. When you empathize with others, you build stronger relationships. It's easier to resolve conflicts and build that sense of trust. And, people want to be around you They want to work with you. They want to spend time with you. They want to talk to you. And in an organizational environment, they want to work with you, right? So it brings collaboration. The question then comes, why is it important to cultivate emotional intelligence? Well, based on everything that I've been saying before, there are many benefits. Emotional intelligence enables you to better understand and manage your own emotions, first of all. And then leads to greater self control. It leads to resilience and adaptability in the face of any adversity or challenge. And that in turn fosters a sense of calm, confidence, inspiring trust, and respect from those around you. Emotional intelligence also facilitates more meaningful and authentic connections with others. I feel like a broken record, but I think it's important to keep saying it. Repetition is important sometimes, right? Repetition is important in learning. By empathizing with your colleagues, with your friends, with your spouse, your children, you're experiencing what you're experiencing and the emotions that you're feeling, and also listening to their experiences and their emotion. You create a supportive and inclusive environment where the people around you feel valued. They feel like you understand them, and they feel empowered to, share, with you and to show you their best selves. Even if it's not their best selves, they still feel comfortable because they know that, hey, this person accepts me as I am, and I'm not being judged for who I am. I'm being listened to. And if this person listens to me and they feel like there is something that I need to shift, then they will give me constructive feedback. So you're building a level of trust when you show empathy and listen attentively to others without judgment. Now, in terms of personal growth and relationships, emotional intelligence plays a pivotal role in building healthier and more fulfilling relationships. It allows individuals to communicate effectively, yeah, resolve conflicts constructively, and build deeper connections based on mutual trust and respect. So, in summary, I apologize, but like I said, I'm a teacher, so I'm always drilling things into my students' head. So I'm taking my teacher stance here today and drilling this into your head, so you'll hear me say it over and over. Right? Cultivating emotional intelligence is not just a skill; it's a lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. When you develop your emotional intelligence, you're enhancing your ability to lead with empathy, integrity, and authenticity. And you ultimately drive personal and professional success while nurturing meaningful relationships along the way. So that is the importance of point number 4, which is developing or cultivating your emotional intelligence. The fifth one is to commit to continuous learning and growth. Your journey is one of perpetual evolution, or I should say, our journey, because I'm a part of this too. But I'm standing in the teacher seat or sitting in the teacher seat today, so I'm speaking to you. So your journey is one of perpetual evolution. And I want you to embrace the pursuit of knowledge and growth. Invest in personal and professional development, especially ones that nurture ethical leadership and character. The challenges are but stepping stones that you will face along the way. It's inevitable. You will face challenges, but see them as stepping stones to your future greatness, right? Your journey through life is made up of a myriad of experiences of growth and evolution. At its core lies the fundamental principle of continuous learning and growth. It's a commitment to lifelong curiosity, lifelong exploration, and self improvement. Don't stop because you're at a certain age. Who says you have to stop learning? I remember when I came to Canada over 30 years ago, one of the very first courses I took was, I think it was McGill University in Montreal. And I was quite surprised to see an 80-year-old gentleman in class with me. 80, 80. Now that is someone I admire because age did not limit him. He says, "Hey, I'm 80 years old, but there are still things that I want to learn." And so he enrolled in the class, and his grade was higher than mine. I say that to inspire you. Never stop learning because you feel that you're at a certain age. All right? So, what exactly are the benefits of embracing this ethos of learning? And how can it shape your personal and professional development? In my opinion, continuous learning and growth are indispensable pillars of both personal and professional development. It expands your horizons, broadens your perspectives, and deepens your understanding of the world around you and of the people that you're interacting with. By embracing new ideas, new perspectives, new skills, you're challenging yourself to step outside of your comfort zone and you're building resilience, you're becoming more adaptable and you're developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is essential if you are going to become a better version of yourself. Continuous learning also contributes significantly to your professional success. The ability to adapt and learn new skills has become even more critical than before. So by staying, keeping up with industry standards and whether it's through technological advancements, new business frameworks, however, process improvements, keep abreast of the industry standards. Things are changing constantly. If you don't keep up, you're going to become obsolete. You're going to be left behind, right? And you're going to wonder, what happened? Why does my life feel so stuck? Why am I not moving forward? Are you continually improving yourself? When you embrace continual learning, you can position yourself as a leader in your field because you have the knowledge. You didn't wait for someone to tell you, you're on top of it. While people are sleeping at night, you're doing research on Google, right? You're using Google for something productive, not just to search for somebody's video, if you get my drift. You're using it for something good. You're building yourself and so that you can remain competitive in an ever changing world. But committing to continuous growth and continuous learning also comes with challenges. Things like time constraints, competing priorities, fear of failure are just a few. Sometimes you just don't have the time because you have to deal with your family. You have to take care of your family first. There are other things that could be competing for your time, right? So it has its challenges as well. But what I love nowadays is the different options that we have because there is also on demand learning. And even these videos that I'm creating, you may not have the time to come on and listen at the time when I am doing them live, but you always have the option to come back at a later time when you are resting or when you're not so pressed for time to come and listen to them. So there is on-demand learning. You learn at your own pace. You go in at your own time. And I believe that for people like us with careers, it's fantastic. So you don't have to be tied to a desk somewhere in a classroom or you specifically be there. And most of the times when I sign up for webinars, I know that my calendar may be full and I can't attend it at the time that it's scheduled for. But because I know most webinars will send you the recording, I make use of those recordings. So even, what I'm talking about, you may not be able to tune into every live I do on Mondays at 8 p.m., but the videos will always be here in the group for you to see. So what are the key strategies for committing to continuous learning and growth? First, again, let me repeat myself once more. Cultivate a growth mindset. It's an attitude of openness, curiosity, and resilience in the face of challenges. And that involves reframing setbacks as opportunities for learning and viewing failure as a natural part of the learning process. I was, I wouldn't say involved, but there was a situation recently where, I'm trying to put this very delicately, where members of a group proceeded to take an action towards something. It was a good motive, it was a good intention, but the way it was done created a little bit of conflict. Let me put it that way. Now, I was a member of that group, and I could have looked at the situation from a negative perspective. I could have, but I saw in that moment opportunities. And I thought to myself, no, it's not a bad thing that they're doing, not by a long shot. But I believe that there is opportunity for learning and growth. And so I stepped up and said, I can teach you how to do XYZ. So it gave me opportunity to use my talent of teaching and my platform of leadership development in that area. So this is what a growth mindset is. It's looking for opportunities in things that could be setbacks or in negative situations. And even though this was not such a negative situation, it was just an oversight. In many ways it was an oversight, right? So you look for those opportunities. That's a growth mindset. All right. So the next thing to do, or the next strategy in building continuous learning, is setting clear goals and establishing a structured approach to learning, right? A structured approach to learning. Don't just say, okay, I want to take this course, I want to take that course. And yeah, structure. What are the courses that you want to take? What are the areas of development, personal and professional, for you? What do you think are the best courses or workshops or seminars for you to attend? Write them down. Create a vision board of them, right? So that you can check box once you're complete. Check, I'm done that one, on to the next. Don't just leave them up here in your head. I find that if you don't write them, nothing is going to get done. I can speak for myself. If I don't write things down, nothing's going to get done. So on Monday mornings, or even sometimes at Sunday nights, I will sit and I go, what's my week going to look like? Sometimes I won't have the whole week planned out, but at least I'll have the first 2 or 3 days planned. So I know Monday to Wednesday, these are my focus. And then if anything comes, then they belong to Thursday and Friday. Or if I have to interject them into one of those 3 days, I know how I have to navigate, right? So don't just leave things in your mind, write things down. Because when you write it down, it gets done. Set clear goals, enroll in the courses that you want, attend workshops, seek mentorship. That's another way for you to learn. Yesterday, I signed up another executive client. So people are really practicing this learning and development situation. And yeah, I'm very happy about this new executive client as well. So, have a roadmap of some type for your learning, right? Be proactive about it. Don't just be passive about it and say, this is what I want to do. Be proactive, right? And continue in your pursuit of growth and development. The next step or next strategy for this is to create a supportive environment for learning. It could be through joining professional networks, forming study groups, seeking feedback again from peers, and you can provide invaluable encouragement and accountability to them, and they can provide it to you along the way. So to wrap up this point of continuous learning, then, committing to continuous learning and growth is not a choice. It's a mindset, a way of life. You want to make that a thing that no matter how old you are, even 80 years old, you're still learning something new. And by embracing new opportunities for learning, challenging yourself and pushing beyond your limits, you're remaining open to new ideas and perspectives and paving the way for personal and professional success. All right? So, continuous learning and growth. Now, we're talking about building character for unprecedented success. So the question then now becomes, how does leadership character influence team performance? Or how does it influence, can I use it to influence my family? Think of your children and your husband, your wife and your children as a team. Think of your extended family as a team, right? Because some people may be retired, they no longer are in the corporate world. But wherever you are, maybe it's church and you're functioning in the deacon board, that's your team. Wherever you are, there is a team. So, how does leadership character influence team performance? Leadership character is not just a virtue, I would call it a catalyst for greatness. And the more I research this topic and learn about it myself, because I am really a leadership enthusiast, so I'm always reading and looking and learning things about leadership. And I found that in my research that teams that are led by ethical leaders tend to exhibit higher levels of engagement, higher levels of collaboration and productivity, and you know, they're always happier. Leadership character then serves as the guiding force that shapes the culture, the dynamics, and ultimately the performance of a team. It's not merely a virtue to be admired from afar, but a dynamic force that permeates every aspect of a leader's interactions with their team members. So, how exactly, I would ask, is how exactly does leadership character influence team performance, and what can you as a leader do to cultivate it for maximum impact? Great questions, right? Are you asking those same questions? I want to know what your questions are. So I hope you're typing your questions in the chat boxes or the comments below. Leadership character sets the tone for organizational culture. Leadership character sets the tone for the culture in your home, for your culture at church, wherever you are. I'm stressing that. So it's not just about in the workplace, it's about anywhere. When you, as a leader, demonstrate integrity, honesty, and humility in your actions, you create an environment of trust, respect, and psychological safety. Team members, followers, family members, church members feel valued, empowered, and motivated to give their best, leading to higher levels of engagement. And that's what you want. You want an engaged team. Because when they're engaged, they collaborate seamlessly and productivity goes through the roof. So, really, you want to make sure that your leadership character is intact. Leadership character also creates this sense of purpose and shared values within the team. When you embody the values and principles that you talk about, it sends a powerful message that resonates with the rest of the team, and they are able to connect with you on a deeper level. Leadership character creates a sense of alignment and cohesion where everyone is working towards a common goal and they know what the goal is. So they have a sense of purpose. That's the sense of purpose. They know what the goal is. Everybody is working toward that goal and they're doing it willingly and they're happy doing it, right? So they're committed to upholding the shared standards of excellence. Leadership character also plays a pivotal role in fostering accountability and productivity. When leaders take ownership of their decisions, when they admit mistakes, when they hold themselves accountable to the same standards that they expect from others, it sets a powerful example for their teams, right? And so that's what I'm saying to you today. Take ownership of your decisions, admit mistakes when you made them, hold yourself accountable to the same standards that you expect from others, right? Because you're setting a very powerful example there. You're leading by example and you're doing it powerfully. So, it creates a culture of responsibility and accountability where everyone feels empowered to take ownership of their actions and to contribute to the collective success of the team. So how can how can leadership character be developed to improve team performance? We talked about some things that we could do in previously, um, but we're looking at leadership character specifically in relation to team performance right now. So it starts with self awareness and a commitment to personal growth. Leaders must first understand their own values. So I'll start with that because, like we said, leadership is the foundation of your success. Emotional intelligence is the foundation of leadership. And within emotional intelligence, a lot of things are going to be built on values and principles, right? So self awareness is one of the first places that you have to, first things that you have to cultivate to become a good leader and to have a commitment to personal growth. You must first understand your own values, your strengths, your areas for improvement, right? Or some people say weaknesses, but I like areas for improvement. Before you can even model what those values and principles are for others. So let's explain this. If you don't know what your personal values and principles are, but you go out and you're asking someone, you should have been honest about this, and you're really nailing them to the board because they weren't honest about something, but you yourself aren't honest because it's not one of your values. You believe in telling white lies, you believe in cutting corners, you believe in doing underhanded shady deals. That isn't leading by example. But if you are an honest individual and you're holding someone accountable for being honest, then yes, you are leading by example and your character now is in play because you're leading from character, you're leading from value, you're leading from principles. Character and values and principles are in alignment. Your leadership is in alignment with these things. And so, yes, when your team sees that and you're holding them accountable, then they will, with humility, apologize and respect you. But if not, don't expect respect from them. All right. So you must first understand your own values and strengths before you can effectively model them for others. And that sometimes includes engaging in, like I say, meditation, journaling, seeking feedback from the people that you trust. You can also cultivate your leadership character. Again, I'm reiterating now, I'm drilling it in. I'm a teacher, so I'm saying it over and over. Continuous learning, right? Executive coaching. Like I said, I signed a new coaching client yesterday. Peer mentorship. People are taking their growth seriously, investing in personal and professional growth activities, whatever those may be. There are a lot of good free stuff online if you cannot afford to pay for training. There are a lot of good free things online, that's free courses, free workshops, free networking opportunities. Look for those, but start somewhere. Don't just sit back and say, I have no money. Start somewhere. Now, tying it all together, we can conclude that leadership character is not just a nice to have. It's a fundamental driver of team performance and organizational success. By embodying integrity, humility, and accountability in your roots, in your actions, you will build a culture of trust. You'll build a culture of collaboration, a culture of excellence where team members feel empowered to achieve anything. They're really tapping into their greatness and bringing it out because you've created the space for them to do so. Right? So, trailblazers, as we conclude tonight's discussion, remember that greatness lies within each of us. And by assessing and enhancing your leadership character, you are essentially unlocking your greatest potential. You are unlocking um, the ability to inspire, to motivate, to lead with integrity. All right, so let us move forward, armed with the knowledge that we have individually, the knowledge that we're gaining here in this group. most importantly, guided by our values and driven by that relentless pursuit for greatness and excellence. I encourage you to take the next step in your leadership journey with me by enrolling in one of my upcoming workshops. Visit my website at www.karlenemillwood.com to see what leadership events we have coming up and reserve your seats, especially because I have a few workshops throughout the summer and I'm offering them free. All right, free 1 hour workshops on different leadership topics. All right, we also have paid programs, comprehensive programs designed to empower you with the tools and insights that you need to lead with integrity and excellence. Again, www.karlenemillwood.com. Invest in your future as a leader, and not just any leader, but a leader of character. Let us continue to elevate leadership to new heights and create a world where character speaks boldly. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session and I hope you have some great takeaways. Again, put them in the chat and let me know. And we will see you here next week, Monday at 8. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Have a great night, everyone. Talk to you soon.